Okay, welcome back to this week's Cantonese studying. Hope you enjoyed your week and you're ready to get back into this story we're doing, The Freshman. Last week we went through chapters 4, 5, and 6. So we talked about the narrator looking for a flat in Hong Kong. Chapter 5 was about signing the contract for the new unit, and then chapter 6 was about the rental contract itself and the details around that. So today we're going to do chapter 7, 8, and 9. So that'll be the narrator going out to eat with the helper who's been helping the narrator get settled in Hong Kong, and then some of the details around the menu and the tea that they get and the ordering process. So let's go ahead and get started. So as you'll see here are the titles for the 3 chapters that we're going to be talking about today: Chinese restaurant, charge for the tea, and ordering food. Just a reminder, if you want to follow along with this story that we're studying, links will be in the description for the video and the live stream. So far we've been studying materials from the Cantonese Learning Center, which is just an open website with a bunch of PDFs and different stories. They're all, I would say, maybe late beginner, early intermediate. So I think for most people who find this video on YouTube, it's a good set of material to start with, even if you're fairly new. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started today with chapter 7. The one critique I do have of the Cantonese Learning Center material is it's a little bit difficult to find your way around the PDF. Here we go. So I think this is chapter 7 here. Here we go. So chapter 7 is the Chinese restaurant. So Zhao Lao. Zhao Lao is a way to say restaurant. And as always, we're going to go through the vocabulary list. First, we'll read over all the vocab words. Then we'll take an initial listen of the dialogue and just use that opportunity the first time we're hearing it to just kind of listen really closely and see how much of the story or the dialogue we can understand. Then we'll go through and read aloud the actual contents of the dialogue to confirm our understanding and fix any mistakes that we made. And then finally we'll listen to it again with that new understanding of what the dialogue's about based on our reading. And we'll do that for each of the 3 chapters today, and then do some flashcard review, and then we'll be done. So for chapter 7, we have Zhao Lao, which is Chinese restaurant. We have Qim Yun Yer, to finish signing the contract. So this is a carryover from last week when we talked about the rental agreement for the new apartment that the narrator has signed. So we've talked about this before, but yun is the particle for finishing something, like sit yun would be finish eating. So here it's qim yun yer. I believe we said last week qim yer is the word for signing the contract, so it's saying finish signing the contract. Ji hao, afterwards. Yi ging, already. Tam da, nearly. Ye man, night. Gui, tired. Tong o, hungry. Wa, say. Tang, treat. Sek fan, to have a meal. Mho, not good. A zai, to go Dutch, so to split the bill. Ho di is better. Yun loi is turned out to be. Zik hai is means, like this means that. Zigei is oneself. Bei is to give or pay. Yep bun is 1/2. And then paragraph 2. Fogay is waiter. Mun is to ask. Yum is to drink. 乜嘢 is what. Ta is tea. And then on to the next page. Gyuzo has ordered. So we talked about how zao is similar to what we just said. Yun is finished an action. Zao is like finished as in you just recently did it in the past. So I sick zao, I already ate. So it makes the word eat become the word ate in terms of the English translation. Yep, wu. So one, and then wu is pot, so one pot of. Bolei, so it's a type of tea. Hung pin, jasmine tea. Lingoi is besides. Guan soi is boiling water. So a lot of times if you have tea at the table, you'll also have a pot of just boiled water. Yetti, so one plate. Fa sung is peanut. And then finally for paragraph 3, we have zhongyi is like. So 我中意你, I like you, or 我中意做 blank, I like to do this thing. 比較, relatively, or like, I think this is also like compare and contrast. So you could say one thing compared to another thing, or like sentence 1 I say this thing, and then the second sentence in comparison, 比較 something something. This next one, this is new to me, I don't know. This says nung, so it says strong. I'm not sure what type of strong that means, so we'll find that out in the dialogue. Ho da is a lot of. Ngoi guat yan is a foreigner, so it's literally foreign and then country and then person, so foreign, country, person, foreigner. Gum is so. Da yat wu, so we know that da is like more, so it's basically saying one more pot, so more, one pot. And then finally we have tam di, so less strong. Tam is also a new word for me, so I'm not sure exactly how we use that, but apparently it means tam di, means less strong. I'm guessing this chapter is going to be a lot of the different types of tea and the two people sitting down together, and we'll be interested to see how that goes. So now we're going to listen to the dialogue once and see if we can pick out some of the specifics. We know that with these dialogues, the flow of the vocab tends to reflect the actual flow of the dialogue, but there's usually a lot more detail in the dialogue than just the vocab words. So I'll get to the top of the dialogue here, and then we'll listen once without reading, and then go back and read afterwards. Okay, so chapter 7.
第7課酒樓。簽完約之後，都已經差唔多夜晚8點，我哋都好攰，好肚餓。我話請林小姐食飯，但係佢話唔好 ，AA 制好啲。原來 AA 制即係自己俾自己嘅錢，我同林小姐2個人，即係一人俾一半。我哋去咗一間酒樓，伙計問我哋飲乜嘢茶，林小姐叫咗1壺普洱同1壺香片，伙計另外俾咗1壺滾水同1碟花生。林小姐鍾意飲普洱，但係比較濃，好多外國人唔鍾意咁濃，所以佢嗌多1壺香片，因為香片淡啲，好多外國人都鍾意飲。
Okay, so that one was actually pretty doable. So it did follow pretty closely with the vocab. The basic flow of the dialogue was that the narrator and the helper, the woman who's been helping her get settled in Hong Kong, whose name is Miss Lam, they're finishing at the end of last week's chapter, finishing the rental agreement, and then she said that it was very late by the time they signed the contract. So it was, I believe she said 8 p.m. And then the narrator suggested to Miss Lam that basically she treat her to a meal, I think. But Miss Lam said that it would be better if they split. And then she explained, so Zik Hai is means, and then she explained it means one person pays half, the other person pays half. So then they go out to eat, and the waiter asks, let's see, how did she say it? The waiter basically asked what kind of tea they wanted. Then Miss Lam ordered for both of them, and she ordered one pot of the pu'er or the bole, and she ordered one pot of the herngpin or the jasmine, and then they used lengoi, which is that one word that I said last week I'm still not that comfortable with, but it means besides. So the sentence was lengoi, something basically besides. Besides that, she also ordered or brought one pot of the boiling water, the guansoi, and then also one plate of the fa sang, the peanuts. So then the narrator explains that Miss Lam likes the bole, which is like a really dark, almost black colored tea. It's like really dark, really strong, and you typically can have it at dim sum or sometimes when you're eating like really heavy, greasy food. It's supposedly good for your stomach to help kind of cut that. And so I think the dialogue said that Miss Lam likes that, but it's very strong, which is true. In reality, it is really strong. And that foreigners don't, I don't know if she said they don't usually like it or they never like it. I don't remember the exact word that they used, but basically it's common that foreigners don't like that. So that's why Miss Lam also ordered the jasmine tea, because it's less strong. It's that word we just learned, the tam di. And remember, we learned that di is just adds like an er in English. So for example, ho is good, so ho di is like better in English. Or what's another good example? Maybe guai, like expensive, and guai di would be like more expensive. So it kind of adds sort of the equivalent of like an er in English, or just adding more of the previous word. So I'm guessing tam must mean so like the opposite of strong, like weaker. But then anyway, so she ordered the two. That's why she ordered the two pots, as she assumed that the narrator might not like the bole. And I think that was about it. There might have been something else at the end there that I'm forgetting, but I think we got that one pretty well. So now what we'll do is read through this and see if there are any particulars we missed out on. Like I've said in the past, I think it's always good to practice reading, either actually reading out loud, or at least reading in your head, sort of. I think it helps to hear yourself read. In this case, I'm using the live stream to get that practice, but even when you're at home studying, I think reading out loud is really important. You can kind of get the feedback on if you're pronouncing things well or not. Even better would be maybe recording your own pronunciations. I've seen that online, where different language learners will recommend doing like a dictation, and then you can hear back and a recording your own voice. And if typically you'll pick up mistakes in a recording that you might not have heard yourself make live when you're speaking. So okay, so let's go through this one. So it says Qim Yun Yer Ji Hao. So as we said at the top, Qim Yun Yer is to finish signing the contract. Ji Hao is the time word that we learned a while back, which means basically afterwards. So it's kind of the inverse of English, where you might say after we signed the contract in English. This is really saying finish signing the contract afterwards. So you read the first phrase in the sentence, 簽完約之後. So after we finish signing the contract, 都 we both 已經 already. So this might not be both, this might be all. 都已經差唔多夜晚8點. So it's already 差唔多 is almost. 差唔多夜晚 is evening. And then 8點 is 8 o'clock. So the number 8 and then點 is basically means point. So pointing at the 8 o'clock. So by the time we finished signing the contract, it was already almost 8 o'clock. 我哋都好攰，好肚餓. So 我哋 we 都好攰, are very tired, 好肚餓 and very hungry. 我話請林小姐食飯. So I asked, or I said and asked Lam 小姐, so Miss Lam, 食飯 to eat. 但係佢話唔好, however or but, she said that it wasn't good. AA 制好啲, so going Dutch or splitting is better. 原來 AA 制即係自己俾自己嘅錢, so 自己俾自己嘅錢. So I've always known 原來 to mean like originally, but I think in this case it has a different meaning. It said that it was, let's see, where is it? Here we go. Turned out to be. So it's just maybe another additional meaning for that phrase. So it turns out that AA 制 means, 即係 means 自己 oneself, 俾 gives 自己嘅錢, one's own money. 我同林小姐, myself and Miss Lam, 兩個人即係一人俾一半. So two people means one person gives one half. 一半 is one half. Okay, so it's basically that whole second part of the paragraph is just by analogy explaining what that concept means, which is actually a pretty cool milestone for us. I mean, we're getting an analogy in another language and sort of parsing what that analogy is by way of this example. Just pretty good. So then the next paragraph, paragraph 2, says 我哋去咗一間酒樓. So we 去 is go, 咗 is past tense. So we, instead of we go, it's we went. 我哋去咗一間酒樓. So one, and then 間 is the particle or the descriptor for buildings, or basically buildings. So one building, 酒樓 is like a Chinese restaurant. So we went to a Chinese restaurant. 伙計問我哋飲乜嘢茶. So the waiter asked us which tea we want to drink. So yum is drink, 乜嘢 is what, and cha is tea. 林小姐叫咗一壺普洱同一壺香片. So she ordered one pot of the bole and one pot of the jasmine. 伙計另外備咗一壺滾水同一碟花生. So the waiter, besides the order, gave 1 pot of the boiled water and 1 plate of the peanut. So far seems like we described it pretty well for this chapter. Let's see what the final chapter is, or final paragraph, I should say. So 林小姐鍾意飲普洱，但係比較濃，好多外國人唔鍾意咁濃. Okay, so we'll stop there and translate that part. So Miss Lam, 林小姐, 鍾意 likes 飲普洱 to drink the bole, basically the bole tea. 但係 but 比較濃, I guess it's comparatively strong. 好多外國人唔鍾意咁濃. So a lot of foreigners don't like it so strong, basically. 所以佢嗌多一壺香片. Therefore, she orders 1 more pot of the jasmine, 因為香片淡啲, because jasmine is less strong. 好多外國人都鍾意飲. So a lot of foreigners or foreign people like to drink. So yeah, I think we did really well on that one. We got pretty much everything. I did miss the part here where I had said I wasn't sure if they said usually foreign people don't like the stronger tea. It actually said that it was just a lot of foreign people, not usually or any sort of frequency, just saying a lot of foreign people don't like the tea. And then the order word, that's something I don't use at all in my practice yet. So that one, I don't think I really heard that in the dialogue, but it makes sense. This da yep wu is a little bit fuzzy to me, why it's saying like 1 more pot. It might be that they're just referring to that it's an additional pot besides the bole, the stronger tea. I don't think it's a 2nd pot of the jasmine. I think it's just basically saying that's why she ordered a 2nd pot and a pot besides the stronger tea. Other than that, I think that one was pretty good for us, for our level. A lot of these words we've already seen several times in the other dialogues. So let's just keep it rolling. We'll move to the next chapter now, chapter 8. So chapter 8, charge for the tea. So ta qin. So this is literally tea money. There's some sort of a cultural thing here, or maybe it's just a modern business day thing. I know that some Chinese restaurants you go to and the tea is just sort of included. Some places you get charged by pot or even like by cup, or it's variable, but I think there might be like a bit of a shift going on in terms of when you're getting charged for something like the tea, which maybe historically would have been included always for free. We'll probably find out in this chapter. I'm sure that's kind of what the topic of this chapter is about. I would guess, just based on the title, maybe Miss Lam will get like upset or surprised or something that the tea was an extra charge. But we'll go ahead and see what happens here. So first with the vocab, we'll go through the vocab. 試過 is to have done or tried something before. So we know the word see is to try. You'll hear someone say like 你要唔要試下? So do you want or not want to see ha is like try a little, have a little try. So if someone's like offering you a snack or something, they might ask if you want to try something. Now the second word, guo, we talked about this in a previous stream. It's sort of a past tense thing, but it's different from jaw, which we just saw in the previous chapter. Jaw was that word is if you just did something in the past, like, have you eaten yet? Yes, I ate already. I ate. So it's past tense, kind of implying something that you just did. Whereas guo is more, this is like experiential. So have you ever done this thing? Not have you done it yet or in the future or in the past, but more like have you ever done this before in your life? Have you ever gone to the Eiffel Tower? Have you ever gone skiing? Have you ever read this book or seen this movie? So that's what this one is. So that's why it says did or tried something before. Like, have you ever done this? 你試過 blank. Okay, and then next we have 覺得, which is think or feel. 好飲, which is says tasty for drinks and soup. So it's really just taking the word for drink, yum, and prefixing it with ho, which is the word for good. So literally good to drink, it's tasty. If it was food, you would use the word for food for eating, which is sik, and you would just say ho sik, which means it's good, you know, good to eat, it's tasty. You can put ho in front of a lot of things, very many things, and it just basically means that thing is good. 比較, so relatively. Again, we saw that last chapter. 加 is to add. Second paragraph says 我同小姐講, so I said to Miss Lam, or Miss Lam. 服務 is service, like a service at a hotel or something is a 服務. 真係 is really. So, like, someone could ask you, like, what you said, really? Is that really what happened? Did you really do that? It's kind of like a sort of a surprise. If you put it in a question, it's almost like, can be a surprise statement. It can be like just confirming something is actually true. Next we have hat yun, which is customer. Then we have gan, which is choose. I think I've seen this once or twice, but I haven't really studied that word, so that's new to me. Tong is different. Yao is additionally. Fa sung is peanut again. Wa is to say. Gung hai. Gan hai is of course. Hai is it's not. So remember, just like ho in front of something is makes it good. So like up here, ho yum. So the word is the negation word. So we know that hai means like is a state of being. It means like you are, I am. 我係, I am. So 我唔係, I am not. Or it's not in this case. So it's, the word is the negation. Anything that's in front of it, it will negate or make it the opposite. Next we have 모이고연. So everyone or everybody. So we have the word for person, which is yan. We have go, which is a generic word that you can use in front of things. Remember that Cantonese, we use different particles for different types of objects or things, but go is like a generic one that's used for general purpose things if it doesn't already have a specific particle you want to use. And then mui is every, means every, so mui goyan is literally every person or everyone. You can use mui in all sorts of things as well, so you could say every day, mui yat, or every week, mui gosinke, or I think you can use it in front of year, so mui lin. It can be used in front of all sorts of things to mean every of the thing that follows. Next we have you which means need to. So a few minutes ago I made that fake sentence that was lei you mu blank. So in the question form you're saying do you want or not want something. Bei is to give or pay. Ta qin is the charge for the tea, so tea money. Sao qin is to receive money. Sao means to receive. And then paragraph 3, gei qin, so how much, where gei is like a question form of a quantity or an amount of something. So this is saying how much money, qin, but you can use gei in front of all sorts of things. So like gei noi, how long, like how much time, or gei da, how much, as in just generically how much of the thing that follows it in the sentence. This is saying how much, but really it's more specifically it's how much money. Gei qin, how much money. Okay, and then on the next page, I'm assuming we have a few more words. Yeah, so here are the final few words. Gan gan zao lao. Every Chinese restaurant. So here, I don't think we've covered it on the live stream yet, but I believe there's this idea in Cantonese where there are certain words where if you repeat them, it implies every of that thing. It's sort of a similar idea to that word mui that we just talked about, but you can get a similar effect by repeating the word twice. So here it's saying basically every building, every of this type. So every Chinese restaurant. So I'm not sure if this is correct, but you could probably convert this using mui and say maybe mui gan zao lao, something like that. So every zao lao, every Chinese restaurant. Tong is different. Honeng is maybe, perhaps, or like possibly. Sapman yakgoyan, so $10 per person. Sup is the number 10. Man is the word for dollars. Yakgoyan is one person. We haven't really covered this in any of the streams yet, but this is kind of a common pattern for describing ratios. There was another set of material I did off stream a while back that did a lot of work with talking about different things you can purchase at the store and like how much for 1 pound of this fruit or how much for 5 of these items. And it was always this kind of a pattern where it'd be this much money for this many things or this many pounds of something. I kind of think of it almost as if there's a comma after the first part. So sapman, $10, comma, yakgoyan. In this case, it's $10 per person. But yeah, like I said, this could be X amount per each of something, or for so much per pound, etc., etc. And then finally, we have siu sik. So sik is to eat, and then siu means like less or little. So it's just snack is, a little something to eat, basically. We also learned a couple weeks ago that you can say ling sik for snack as well, which is zero food. I kind of like that term because it sort of says something about perhaps the quality of the average snack you might consume as well, that maybe it's not the healthiest thing you're eating, it's a zero food or zero food. But this is another way you can say it as well, and I think this is probably the way I've always said it. I didn't learn ling sik until I started kind of more formally studying a few months ago, but this is pretty common, siu sik. Okay, and so that's the vocab for chapter 8. So remember, this one was about the charge for the tea. So we have to listen closely now and see what exactly is going on with that charge. Are they going to argue over the charge, or is there some sort of miscommunication? And then once we're done listening, we'll see if we're correct.
第8課茶錢。我試過啲香片同普洱，覺得都好好飲。普洱比較濃，所以我會加啲滾水。我同林小姐講，香港酒樓嘅服務真係好啦，客人可以揀唔同嘅茶，又會俾花生客人。林小姐話：梗係唔係啦？佢話每個人都要俾茶錢，花生都要收錢㗎。我問林小姐：茶同埋花生幾錢？佢話間間酒樓都唔同，茶錢可能10蚊一個人，花生小食就20蚊一碟。
Okay, so that one was pretty good as well, but a little bit more difficult for me. Anytime there are lists of prices or numerical things, I find it still quite a bit more challenging. This one wasn't too bad because it was really only 2 things, but sometimes there'll be sentences where it's like math or it's population numbers or really large numbers that I find pretty difficult. So I would say maybe I got 2/3 of this one, but there are some details I probably missed. I think what the narrator says at the beginning is that she's 试过, she's tried before both the bolei cha, the bolei tea, and the hengping, the jasmine tea. I think she said she likes both, but with the bolei she will I think 加多啲滾水. She'll add more boiling water, more of the plain water to make it less strong, I guess. And then I believe it was the narrator complimenting or basically talking to Miss Lam and saying, oh wow, the services in Hong Kong are so amazing because, you know, the waiter will give you, I think she mentioned the guansoi, the boiling water, or maybe it was she was mentioning the 2 types of tea, but then also he'll bring you the plate of the peanuts. And then Miss Lum responds kind of sarcastically, I think, and says, I don't know if she said it's not so good, or she basically disagrees a bit and says something to the effect of, well, there's a charge for the tea, and also there'll be a charge for the peanuts as well. And then the narrator says, oh, how much will the cost be? So 幾錢? And she said that Miss Lum says that it'll be basically our vocab word here, 10蚊一個人, so $10 per person for the tea service, or the bringing the tea to the table. And I think she mentioned something about the cost of the peanuts as well, but I didn't catch that part, so that'll be something we'll have to see in the reading, what she said there at the end. And I think that's pretty much it. There might have been another half sentence or so at the end I didn't catch, but that's kind of what I got out of this one. So now let's go through and read this. Okay, so 我試過啲香片同保利. So 啲is used for plural things, and I think because she's referencing 2 things, she's just using 啲as a generic plural. So 我試過, I've tried 啲香片同保利. I've tried jasmine and 保利 before. 覺得都好好飲. I think that they're both very, very good to drink. They're very good. 保利比較濃. So comparatively, the 保利 is stronger. 所以我會加啲滾水. So therefore, I will add, I'll add the boiling water. So she didn't necessarily say 多啲 like more boiling water. She just said I'll add boiling water. And one thing I can say about 啲 is it's plural and it can be used in a couple of ways. So it can be used either if you have a large number of items that you don't wish to specifically count or enumerate. So like let's say you have like a bunch of cups on a table or cans of soda or something, and you want to refer to those things like, oh, this stuff over here, these cans of soda, you might use the to basically say generically these plural things over here, these plural cans of soda, but you don't want to count the specific ones and say, oh, there's 13 of them. But in this case, with the water, the can also be used for uncountable things. So like water, in the case of water, you can think of it as, well, it's all the molecules. It's you know, if you counted it in terms of drops, there's probably 1 million drops of water. It's sort of an uncountable fluid thing. Maybe something like rice would be similar, or grains of sand on a beach, where it's really an uncountable thing. Then you can also use the for that. So I think that's probably what the meaning is here in terms of why the is used specifically, is it's the pot of water. It's not really the amount of water you're pouring in to add is not a countable amount. It's just whatever it is. Okay, so that's basically that first paragraph is just her saying that she likes them both. The bole is stronger, so she'll basically add some water to it. Okay, and then second paragraph says 我同林小姐講. So I said to Miss Lam, 香港酒樓嘅服務真係好啦. So Hong Kong restaurants services. So 嘅 here is a possessive word. It's linking this first part to the second, and it's saying Hong Kong's apostrophe S, or I guess Hong Kong's restaurants apostrophe S services. They're basically the restaurant's services, 真係, are really, like, they're really very good. 真係好啦. 客人可以揀唔同嘅茶. So customers are able to 可以揀唔同嘅茶. So 揀, I'll have to look that up again. I think it was order or something like that. 唔同 is different, and 茶 is tea. So different kinds of tea, or multiple different teas. Let's look up what 揀 was again. Choose. Okay, 揀, choose. So customers are able to choose different kinds of tea. 有, so additionally or and. 會俾花生客人. So these restaurants, additionally, they will give the peanuts to the customers. 林小姐話梗係唔係啦. So Miss Lam says, of course not. 佢話每個人都要俾茶錢. She says that every person will have to give this tea money, this tea fee. 花生都要收錢㗎. So for the peanuts, they also will receive money. The restaurants will. Okay, and then final paragraph. 我問林小姐茶同埋 发生幾錢? So I ask 林小姐茶同埋發生幾錢? So tea and 同埋is two characters. It means and. You'll see it shortened and you'll hear tung, which is and as well. It's the shorthand for it, but tong mai means and. So I ask Lam Xiu Jie cha, so tea, tong mai, fa sung, and the peanuts, gei qin, how much money. Kui wa, so she says, gan gan zao lao, every restaurant, do tong. Tong is different, so every restaurant is different. Ta qin, hua neng, so the tea fee or the tea money is possibly sapman yak goyan, is possibly $10 per person. Keep in mind too that this is Hong Kong dollars, so 10 Hong Kong dollars per person. If you're thinking like a euro or a US dollar, $10 per person seems pretty ridiculous, but I think it's roughly 7.6 Hong Kong dollars to the US dollar. So we're talking like a little over $1, $1.10, $1.20, something like that, which is still, it's kind of annoying, I would imagine, if you're used to not paying for tea, but it's not $10 per person. It's $10 Hong Kong. It's not $10 US or 10 euros. So sapman yakgoyan. Fa sang xiu sik zao yisapman yatti. So this last part I didn't catch at all. I think I was sort of tuning out already because I knew the dialogue was ending in the next second or two, and I didn't hear that last part at all. But it says the peanuts snack xiu sik zao is then. Zao is just a generic. It basically just means then. Yisapman, so $20. Yet the $20 per plate. This is another form of that sentence I was talking about earlier when we said sapman yakgoyan, $10 per person. Here's another slightly different example where it's yisap 20, yisapman $20, yet the $20 one plate, so $20 per plate. So this one was pretty good as well. This they call it reduplication, where you double up the character to mean. Actually, reduplication is something different, but this doubling up the character to mean every is not something I'm very familiar with, so that's kind of a little bit unfamiliar to me. You'll see it commonly with every day as well, where we said you could say 모이야, every day. You can also say yet, which is every day. Another one would be the word ti means like an occurrence or a time. So like one time I went to that store one time. One time would be yet ti, one occurrence or one time. So every time you could say mui ti, but you could also say ti. That's another common example of doubling up the character, and it can convert it to mean every of that character, every time, every person. In this case, it's every restaurant. So that's it for chapter 8. You may see that I'm skipping through these exercises. As I've said in previous weeks, the exercises can be good. If you're interested in them, I'd recommend checking them out in the PDF. I tend to find more value in spending time listening more times to the dialogue and reading more times than answering the specific questions or fill in the blank. These PDFs, and I also feel like the format is not that great for myself, but feel free to take a look at it and see if it's something that you think would benefit you. That's a big part of language learning. I'm coming to realize is you have to find what's going to work for you. Just because I like or don't like some method doesn't mean that that method is good or bad. There's fundamental principles, of course. You need to do a lot of reading and a lot of listening. But beyond that, some of the specifics you can kind of customize based on your interest. Okay, so now our last chapter for today, chapter 9, says ordering food. So I sung, we saw I earlier in chapter 7. So sung is dishes, like an entree or a dish that you receive at your table at a restaurant. That's what sung means. So I sung ordering food, ordering dishes. Okay, so let's go through the vocab now. Paragraph 1, mun. That's to ask.乜嘢means what, like the question word, what.乜都食, eat everything. 嗌咗, has ordered. Gung is thick soup. That's a new word to me. I didn't know that word. So it's a specific kind of soup, it seems. Tofu gung. So it's tofu soup or bean curd soup. Then we have gu lo ha kao, sweet and sour shrimps. So the word ha means shrimp, and kao, that actually means ball, I believe, like lam kao. That's a type of sport. I think lam kao is, I want to say basketball, but at any rate, kao is like ball. So shrimp balls, I guess. And then gulo, that's new to me. I guess that's the sweet and sour type of food. Okay, so then next we have tao toy sum. So tao is stir fried. Toy sum is a type of vegetable. Toy sum. So stir fried choy sum. Sung is food dish. Lai do is to arrive. Ji hao is afterwards. Bak fan is steamed rice or plain rice, where fan means rice and bat is the color white, so it's literally white rice. And then second paragraph we have sik sik. This is a question. This is how you say questions in Cantonese usually, is you're saying the yes no form of the thing you want to know back to back. So sik sik, no, not no. Lei sik sik gong. Do you know or not know how to speak? Do you know how to speak? Lei sik sik gong. You'll notice the sound, the tone is a little bit different. So sick is a higher tone, sick, whereas the word for eat that we learned above is sick. So sick is to know, sick is to eat. The tones are important, but I find that explicitly studying what tones, like, oh, this word is a rising tone, that word is a falling tone, that's less important than just spending time mimicking how someone says something. So get yourself a sentence, try to mimic the flow, the way it sounds. It's also helpful if you do this with sentences or phrases, more so than individual words, because I feel like it's really the flow of the way the tones sound when you say it as a sentence that helps the most. And then the exact tone number or the tone itself, like studying that on a word-by-word basis it's good to get a hint, but it's better, I think, to just mimic the way it sounds, and you'll come out okay as long as you do that. Okay, so continuing on, we have 炸 Fai zi, za fai zi is to hold chopsticks. Fai zi is chopsticks. And za that's the same word you use for drive, like driving a car. So za che is to drive a car. So it's kind of like piloting your chopsticks, I guess, is to hold chopsticks. Za fai zi. Next we have sai sai. Sai sai is whether you need to do something or not. Gyu is to ask or to call, as in to call something or name something. I think it can also mean like you tell someone to do something, like a parent telling a child to do something. I believe you can use gyu for that as well. So I don't think it's just for requests. I think it can be for like demands as well. Fog, a waiter. We saw that above. Fu. For this one, I don't know what MW means in this particular PDF, but I guess it's a set of things. Do ta is knife and fork. So do is literally like knife or blade. Ta is literally fork, so it's knife, fork. And then we have mo man tai. So no problem. Man tai is like an issue or problem. Or, yeah, I think it can also mean question. And so mo, we've talked about how mo means nothing and yao means to have. So have or not have, yao mo. So this is no problem, literally, mo man tai. You'll use this a lot, you know, someone does something, they apologize, you could say, oh, mo man tai, no problem. And then moving on to paragraph 3, we have yeah, which is just a very generic word for thing or stuff. So if you want to just refer to something generically, you're not trying to be precise about it, you use yeah. So you could say sit yeah, which would mean to eat stuff, eat something, sit yeah. Ho sick, tasty. Yi che is moreover. Or like furthermore, moreover, furthermore. So you might use that. I've started using that one a little bit. You might use that between sentences to like link two thoughts together, or a longer sentence to link the first half to the second half. Then we have ho da, which is a lot, many, much. Xun za is a choice or to choose. Mzi, not only. Kei ta is other. Tan tang is a non-Chinese restaurant, like a kind of like a diner or a small little restaurant. Tan tang. Wak zhe means or perhaps. And then finally we have ta tan tang, which is a Hong Kong style cafe. So that's kind of why I brought up with tan tang. It says non-Chinese restaurant, but I think it also means kind of like just a tiny little cafe or a diner, which is sort of what this is implying here, a ta tan tang. Okay, so that's it for the vocab for chapter 9. Let's refresh our memory again on what this chapter is about. So it's about ordering food. So I would assume it's going to be all the dishes, all the various things, or at least describing the ordering process maybe. Okay, so let's listen to that and see how we do.
第9課嗌餸。林小姐問我鍾意食乜嘢，我話我乜都食。我哋嗌咗一個豆腐羹，一個咕嚕蝦球，同一個炒菜心。啲餸嚟到之後，我哋仲嗌咗2個白飯。林小姐問我識唔識揸筷子，使唔使叫伙計俾副刀叉我。我話我識揸筷子，所以冇問題。我同林小姐講，我覺得香港酒樓嘅嘢好好食，而且有好多選擇。林小姐話唔止酒樓，其他餐廳或者茶餐廳嘅嘢都好好食。
Okay, so this one is them ordering the food, as we said. It starts with Miss Lam asking the narrator what she likes to eat. She says, "Okay, so what do you like to eat?" Lei, I think she said, "Lei sarng sek ma yeah." Like, what do you like to eat? Or we haven't learned sarng in this chapter, so it's probably lei zhong yi sek ma yeah. What do you like to eat? Instead of what do you want to eat or wish to eat. So then the narrator had said she likes to eat everything or anything. Then Miss Lam ordered several dishes. Now the specific dishes I'm gonna forget. It was in the vocab list we talked about the different types of soups, the tofu soup, I think there was another soup in there, and then she ordered the what was the other thing she ordered? I don't remember. And then the narrator said that once as those things arrived, or just after they arrived, then they also ordered, I think she said Learn maybe 2 bowls, basically 2 plain rice. So after that, then Miss Lam asked the narrator, "Lei sik m sik za fai zi," like, do you know how to use the chopsticks? And then I don't know if she said something about, I don't know what words she used, but basically asking, like, should I ask the waiter for a set of fork and knife? The narrator replies and said, "I can use it, no problem." Then they eat. I think they said everything was good. The last part I'm a little fuzzy on. It was something about, they said this was like a good choice, I think. This restaurant was a good choice. And then I think Miss Lam said that the other restaurants, the other chantangs and cha-chantangs, they're also good. Or they're all good, something to that effect. So I'm pretty confident we got that one. Again, a few of the details we missed, or I missed, I should say. Maybe if you're following along, you didn't miss them, but there were a few details that were a little fuzzy for me. But that's what the process is. As I've said in several of the past weeks, this is the formula I've been using the last couple months, and I think it works well. I like to listen the first time, having not read the dialogue at all, because you'll never really get that first fresh opportunity again, so you might as well make use of it. So I'll listen to it first, knowing it's, in some cases it's easy, most cases actually it'll be difficult and you'll miss things, but it's good exercise for your listening. So do that, then read to fill in those gaps, and then I'll kind of do that cycle over and over again. So tomorrow now, we'll finish the stream tonight. Tomorrow on the way to work or something, I'll probably listen to this again, all the chapters we're studying, and I will have forgotten a lot of the details by tomorrow. So I get that second listen and that third listen. And again, I'll use the reading to reaffirm and confirm things that I've correctly heard, or fill in gaps where I've missed things. I think that's a pretty good method. You can always read first as well, and that'll maybe make the listening easier. I think for me personally, the listening is the hardest part, so I want to get as much practice with that as possible. But maybe for you, reading is more difficult, so maybe you'd rather read first. It's all kind of up to your preference. Okay, so given that, let's read through this and see if we missed anything interesting in terms of the details. 林小姐問我鍾意食乜嘢. So Miss Lam asked me what I like to eat. 我話我乜都食. I say that I eat anything or everything. 我哋嗌咗一個豆腐羹. So we ordered 1 豆腐羹, it's like the tofu bean curd soup. 一個咕嚕蝦球, the sweet and sour shrimp. 同 and 一個炒菜心, one stir-fried choy sum vegetable. Disong, so these dishes. Here's another example of disong. There you could have said, these 3 dishes, but maybe the exact number is not really important. You're just trying to say these, plural, these dishes. Disong lai dou ji hao. So they arrived. Remember that dou means like successfully. So in this case, lai is to arrive or to come in the direction of your person and in the direction of yourself, versus hai is to go away, is to go. Hai is go, lai is to come. So, or to arrive. So lai dou is to arrive, essentially arrive successfully. You can use dou for unsuccessful. I would use like maybe a good example of that to demonstrate that would be the word one, which just means to search or to look for something. So you could say one dou means like you searched and you found the thing you were searching for, versus one dou means like you were unsuccessful. You searched unsuccessfully for something. So one dou versus one dou. This is lai dou, arrived. So diseng lai dou ji hao, after the dishes arrived. 我哋仲捱咗. I guess we then. Let's look up how they're saying zhong is defined here. I don't know if they had it up in the vocab list. Zhong can sometimes mean still. It can mean, basically still. I don't know if we had that in the vocab list. Oh, here we go. So it would have been, it basically means furthermore or still. Yeah, it's not really defined here. That's okay. So think of it as furthermore. So furthermore, we ordered, let's see, where are we at here? Here we go. So we ordered 嗌咗, past tense. We ordered 兩個白飯. So two of the plain rice, 白飯. So in this case, they used 兩 for 2, and they didn't use any specific classifier. So they didn't say 2 bowls or 2 plates or 2 cups. They just say 兩個, 2 of, like 2 bak fan, 2 plain rices. I thought maybe they had said 兩碗, but typically with this Cantonese Learning Center content, unless they specifically give you that vocab word, they probably didn't use it. So we didn't learn wun for bowl in this chapter. So they just say 兩個bak fan. Okay, so they got their dishes. They ordered the 2 orders of plain rice. And then paragraph 2 says, 林小姐問我識唔識揸筷子. So Miss Lam asked me if I know how to use chopsticks or not. 使唔使叫伙計俾副刀叉我? So is it necessary? Should I basically? Is it necessary to ask the waiter, ask the伙計to give? And then here's the word fu. This was one of the ones I didn't know, which it was a set, means a set. So 伙計俾fu, to give a set of 刀叉, fork and knife. I guess knife and fork technically here. 刀叉, knife and fork. 我, to give to you, give to me, in this case the narrator, give to me. I say 我識揸筷子 I know how to use chopsticks 所以冇問題 therefore no problem. You could probably say 所以唔使 Typically, if you're asked a question, you can answer with the positive or negative as your answer. So she says, no problem. You could also just answer and just say, oh, I'm sorry, because she already knows how to use it. Okay, and then finally, last paragraph. 我同林小姐講 So, this is strange. So this is kind of similar to our last chapter where she's asking about the services and saying how good the services were. So for a second there, I thought we were back on chapter 8, but she's saying 我同林小姐講 I say to Miss Lam 我覺得香港酒樓嘅嘢好好食 I feel that the Hong Kong restaurants stuff or their food is very good 而且有好多選擇 So moreover, they have 有好多 a lot 選擇 of choices. Okay, so that's something we got a little bit wrong, or I got a little bit wrong, I should say, when I was recalling what I heard. I thought at the end here she was saying that the choice to go to this restaurant was good. She's actually saying that this restaurant has a lot of choices. 林小姐話唔止酒樓 So Miss Lam says not only 酒樓, not only Chinese restaurants, 其他餐廳或者茶餐廳嘅嘢都好好食 So not only Chinese restaurants, but other non-Chinese restaurants and the cha tantangs, the diners or the cafes, their stuff is also very, very good. So let me say that sentence in completion one more time. 林小姐話唔止酒樓，其他餐廳或者茶餐廳嘅嘢都好好食。Okay, so that was pretty good. So this time I don't think we listened to the other two chapters a second time. I don't recall, but let's listen to chapter 9 one more time. Typically I do like to listen to it a second time after reading. So we'll at least listen to chapter 9 one more time, and then we're going to do some flashcard review.
第9課嗌餸林小姐問我鍾意食乜嘢，我話我乜都食。我哋嗌咗一個豆腐羹，一個咕嚕蝦球，同一個炒菜心。啲餸嚟到之後，我哋仲嗌咗2個白飯。林小姐問我識唔識揸筷子，使唔使叫伙計俾副刀叉我。我話我識揸筷子，所以冇問題。我同林小姐講，我覺得香港酒樓嘅嘢好好食，而且有好多選擇。林小姐話唔止酒樓，其他餐廳或者茶餐廳嘅嘢都好好食。
Okay, great. Yeah, I think listening again after reading definitely helps. Usually that's what I do on my own. Sometimes we'll try to do that on the stream, but sometimes I'll forget, so apologies for that. All right, so we went through the 3 chapters for today pretty quickly. That was good. So let's finish off today with a little bit of flashcard review. This particular story, the freshman has 14 chapters, so we've still got another 2 weeks worth on this story before we start the next one. But we're making pretty good progress. I think doing the 3 chapters per week is still working out for us. Maybe later on in the year when we get into the harder stories from Cantonese Learning Center, we'll do fewer chapters, but for now it seems like 3 chapters is working pretty well, so we'll continue on with that. Okay, so on to flashcard review. Now last week I had said I was doing something new where rather than simply reviewing all the flashcards across all of the things that I've been studying, both on stream and off stream, that we'll try to study together primarily the flashcards for the current story we're on. And I did update our custom review decks in this flashcard program. So today we're going to try to study all the flashcards for the first 9 chapters, which we just finished chapter 9 for. And let's see how that goes. I'm going to scoot this browser window over here so if we need to look up some things in the dictionary, we can. Okay, Freshman, chapter 1 through 9. So this is乜嘢, which you'll recall was a question word. It means what?
乜嘢
乜嘢?
伙計
伙計. This is waiter. This is this sao for receive or is this giu for call? I'm going to say it's giu. I may be wrong on that. Giu, to call, ask, order.
叫
Giu. Tasty, delicious, yummy. So this is probably 好食.
好食
或者 means or.
或者
或者. This is 比較. This is like comparatively or in contrast. Compare to, relatively.
比較
比較. To serve or service, this was that 服務. Remember we said that 香港嘅酒樓服務, or 香港酒樓嘅服務, Hong Kong restaurants services. So 服務 is service.
服務
小食 is snack.
小食
可能 is possibly. Might, possible, probable.
可能
Sung, this is dishes.
餸
Sung. Okay, so I guess did we finish that already? That was pretty quick, quicker than usual. Why don't we try to rebuild and do a few more of these?
乜嘢
But yeah. So this was what? 伙計. This is a waiter.
好食
好食, tasty. 服務 service.
服務或者
或者 is or. If this is your first time watching this one of these videos, the way I set my flashcards up is a mix of reading the original characters and remembering what the definition and pronunciation are. This kind of a card where I'm listening to the text-to-speech,
比較
比較, and then trying to remember the definition and what the word is. So that's comparatively. And then also English to Cantonese. So read the English, translate to Cantonese. So snack would be 小食 or 零食. In this case, it would be 小食 from this dialogue. 小食.
小食
Meals, dishes. Sung.
餸
Okay. So I think what I'm going to do is I still want to spend maybe another 5 or 10 minutes on flashcards. So I'll give you a behind the scenes of this query for this particular card deck we're looking at. In Anki, you can filter on your flashcards. So what I'm doing is basically saying all the flashcards I have in my main deck of cards, but I'm filtering on the various chapters we've learned so far. And I'm also filtering on only cards that are due. So Anki is one of these flashcard programs that will keep track of how many times you're getting cards right, and it'll show you the cards that are easy for you less often. So you don't necessarily want to be reviewing all the cards all the time. If they're ones that are clearly easy, it'll space them out through time so you're seeing them less often, and then the ones that you're having trouble with you'll see more often. So I think for today I'm going to take off the is do filter, and that should allow us to get a larger set of cards for this particular filtered deck so that we can see more cards in the next 5-10 minutes before we end the stream. So here you can see I've changed the filter. Now I've got a much larger set of cards that we can deal with. Okay. So this is hou yi si. This is like sorry for the, kind of like sorry for disturbing you or sorry for the trouble or problem. Excuse me, I'm sorry.
唔好意思，
唔好意思. Employee, staff, waiter, waitress. This is 伙計.
伙計
Oh, okay, so this one's difficult. I don't know what this character is. Yeah, I don't know. Let's see what this one is. 接
接
to answer, to meet or welcome, connect.
接
Okay, I don't know if I've ever seen that. Let's look at the tags for this card. So when does this one come in? It says chapter 3, so we did see this earlier, but I don't remember that one at all. 接 to receive or to answer. Okay. 好食 is good food.
好食
機場 this is an airport.
機場
Or possibly perhaps. This is this 或者 or is this 可能? 可能 is possibly. 或者 okay.
或者
Mark that as hard because I wasn't entirely sure. This one, I don't know. So, yun. Oh, okay. So this is distance. Like if you're describing how far away something is, you would use 幾遠, how far. So,
遠
yun. Not a character I've seen that often. It's kind of in the backlog of my flashcards, so I'll have to practice that one a lot.
服務
Fukmo is service.
服務
Let's see. Not sure on that one. Ginjuk,
建築
to construct. Okay,
建築
that's a brand new one for me. Ginjuk. It has the bamboo on the top right of this right character. Ginjuk. I don't have the sufficient skills for breaking down all the characters yet, so I tend to see the characters as a single shape, and then some characters I can see the decomposition or the breakup, but not all of them. That's something for me to work on more. So this is ginjuk, to construct. This one we just saw, so this was deep, right? But what did that mean? So deep. Don't know. That's okay. Let's keep it going.
接
To receive or to answer, as in answering the phone. To meet. Okay. So to answer. 接.
接
Okay. Don't remember. We just saw this one. Oh, yun. 幾遠. Distance. Yun.
遠小食
小食. Snack. 收錢 to receive money.
收錢
空氣. This is like air or fresh air. Air.
空氣
空氣. To do something, to work on, to work. Well, to do something would be like 做嘢. That's like very generic. To do something, 做嘢. To work, I mean, you can return to work, 返工. I'm just going to say 做嘢.
做嘢
So yeah. We said this was what? ginjuk, like to construct.
建築
ginjuk. This is 唔同, so different. 唔同.
唔同
唔同. 好啲 is like better.
好啲
好啲. Was this yun, distance?
遠
Yun. Deep, which was to answer, right? Like answering a phone or receiving something.
接
Deep. This is like mommy or something like that. A lot of the basic parent words or family words
媽咪
are basically loan words from English. So this is 揾到. The example I gave earlier about searching for something, 揾到. Succeed in finding,
揾到
揾到. 試過, to have tried something
試過
or experienced something. 試過. This is something that maybe 唔少得. So like cannot live without or cannot, like you have to depend on it. Something like that. Oh, sad that. Oh, reluctant to give, missing. Sad that. Okay.
唔捨得
I think this is ging to pass. Don't know what this one is, the first character. Kind of looks like zhang, which is to hate, but I don't think that's the character for that. Tung, ging, already, former, previously, past tense marker used before verb or clause. Tung, ging.
曾經
Okay. So I think this is a component of zhang, which is to hate. Let's double check that. So I think 3. Oh, this is to add, expand, zhang. So what am I thinking of for hate? Hate. Oh no, it's the same. The right-hand side, to hate, zhang. So I guess the zhang for to hate has this component on the right, and then it has the vertical slash and the 2 slashes on either side, versus to add has the is this sarng on the right-hand side? No, it's C, right? Yeah. This on the left-hand side. Okay, so in any case, this is tung ging, which is once, already. So something passing through, because ging is to like pass. Let's maybe see what this character is on its own. Chinese surname. Okay, once or already. That makes sense. So already and then past. Previously, tung ging, to pass through. So or to have already passed through, tung ging. I think that's close enough to the meaning. It makes sense. Tung ging. So this is mseda. So can't handle or can't deal with.
唔捨得
I think you basically just hear this. Someone will say this, like they can't bear for you to leave. It's kind of like if someone's leaving, you know, you separating. You'd say this. Set it lays out. This one I should know. It's something high, state of being high. Being. It's not being. Is it being high? That doesn't make sense. Let's see what it is. Oh, gang hai la, gang hai. Of course.
梗係
Gang hai. Gang hai. So that looks like the muk on the left-hand side and then the sai on the right-hand side. Gang hai. This is sarng, so from camera. So I guess this on its own would be photograph. Oh no, not at all. This is zhou, to hire.
租
So what does sarng look like? Oh, okay. So here's what I was thinking. Sarng, photo. So this has this character on the left-hand side. again, here's an example where the more characters I learn, the more I'm seeing examples of characters that are almost the same, but not quite. And I think the key now, for me at least, is to spend some time on the underlying components. So any Chinese character is made up of essentially simpler characters. And they're formed in only one of maybe a half dozen or a dozen different compositions, whether it's the same smaller or simpler character repeated multiple times, or like in this case, it's two simpler characters that are lined up, left-hand side, right-hand side. So there's these patterns, and complex characters are made up of simple characters. And so if you learn all the simple characters, there's only a couple hundred of them, about 200. And they say online that really if you learn the most common 50 or 100, that gets you most of the way there. Then that makes it so that you look at a complex character and you can see the pieces much more easily. And you'll start to notice subtle differences. Like on the surface, this looks like ridiculously similar, but if you look at the left side, it really is different. And if you get good at recognizing all the little simpler characters, the components, then that difference will be much more apparent. So this is do, this is to rent, like rent an apartment. Okay, versus sang, which is photo. Sangay is camera. Ying sang is to take a photo. Sang is photo or sang pin. Sang pin, photograph. Sang pin. Okay, so we're going to do just maybe another 2 or 3 cards, 2 or 3 flashcards. So this was Changging, to have already passed or already occurred, former, previously.
曾經
唔捨得.
唔捨得
And we'll end on this one. This was 剛係. 剛係.
梗係
So 剛係啦. So of course, without a doubt, that's a pretty common response. If someone asks you, like, you're still hungry? 剛係啦. Of course I'm still hungry. You know, are you busy? 你好忙嗎? 梗係啦. Of course I'm busy. So that's kind of a common phrase to know. That's a pretty popular one. Okay, so with that, we're going to end the stream for today. If you've been watching the stream, or if you see this later on YouTube, I host all of the live streams on the YouTube channel after the fact. So even if you don't see it live, please do watch the videos and send me some comments. Let me know if there's anything else you want to see, different types of videos or different types of content on the live stream. I do live stream once a week on Sundays, roughly 7 p.m. Central Time, US. So with that, we'll end for this week, and have a good week studying, and we'll meet up again this time next week. Thanks.